and welcome back to my channel. I'm so happy you're here. If you're new, welcome. If you're returning and you're one of my subscribers, thank you so much. I can't believe that in like 2 weeks, I already have 30 people who have subscribed, and it just makes my heart so warm. So if you really enjoy this kind of content, please subscribe, like this video, and comment down below. It means a lot to me and it helps my channel grow and gives me a reason to keep making these videos. Okay, so let's get right into today's video. Today we're going to be creating this candy corn nail look. We're going to be using some sponging technique and also some sugaring, and I was really happy with how it turned out. I think it looks really good, and it is really beginner friendly. So I'm really excited to share how to do this with you so that you can do it at home. Okay, so to begin, you're going to need to find 3 colors for your candy corn look. So I'm using Beetle's polishes. So I have A836, which is the orange, B027, which is the yellow, and A845, which is like the cream color. I didn't go for a stark white because I thought that the cream kind of made for a softer ombre. So the first step is just coating your nails in the cream color. So we want to put cream as your base coat, and I typically do 2 coats. So you can just watch along as I put 2 coats. I usually typically do 2 nails at once because I'm clumsy, and sometimes if I do more than 2 nails at once, then I end up touching and it smudges and it's just a mess. So I feel like for me, if I do 2 nails at once and then my thumb last, it just works better. So I'm gonna paint my pinky and my ring finger 2 coats of the cream, and then we'll be right back. Okay, so I've gone ahead and applied 2 coats of that cream color, and I cured for 30 seconds in between each, making sure to clean up the cuticles so that there was no gel on my fingers. So next, you're gonna need a palette. I really like using the plastic disposable palettes that I got from Vetsy, but you can also use more of a traditional, this is an acrylic palette I have. You just need a clean surface to put your gels on. So you're going to need to place both the yellow and the orange. So I make a blob of each typically. Also, just so you know, I am wearing full cover jelly tips that I applied using the Gel X method. And then you're gonna want to make also a stripe, a fairly thick stripe of each color as well. So there's the yellow down. And then you're also gonna want to put some of the orange down. So again, you're gonna just want a blob, and then you're gonna want a fairly thick stripe. All right, so once you get your gels down on your palette, you're going to need 2 brushes, and you're also going to need a sponge. So I just use one of the cosmetic wedges, and I cut it into 4 little pieces. The reason I do that is because the edge right here kind of fits your nail perfectly. And so then you don't get a ton of gel going onto your fingers, so you don't need to use latex, liquid latex to protect your fingers. You can do that if you're so inclined, but I don't, because I don't get much on my fingers. All right, so we're going to get started. I'm going to start with the ring finger, just because it's kind of an easy finger for me to work on in the camera. So what I do first is I just take some of the orange gel. The great thing is you can always get more. And then I'm just going to place that kind of where I'm going to want it, at the cuticle edge of my finger. I'm not looking for it to be perfect because we're going to go in with a sponge in a minute. So it doesn't have to be perfect. It does not have to be opaque because as you are going to see, we're going to build up the color as we sponge to get that really cool ombre effect. So I just kind of want to put some color there so it's not a complete blank canvas, or else we'd be here forever. And then I take another brush. I like to use more of a detail brush for the second color. And I'm just going to pick up some of that yellow and I'm going to plop it right down, kind of below the orange. And again, it does not have to be perfect, but I just kind of want to run it down to where I kind of want that yellow to like start to end. And then you're going to take your sponge. Again, I like to find a nice straight edge, so I'm going to use that edge. And where I've done my stripes, I'm going to just rub that edge in the stripes so that we get half yellow, half orange. And then lining it up with the finger, we're literally just going to dab. You're going to probably find when you're doing the first layer, you're going to be like, hey, like all my colors disappearing, like where's the yellow and orange going? And that's okay, because we're going to have to do a bunch of layers. So I usually just take the tip where the yellow is, and then I just sponge the edge of the yellow. So we kind of get that ombre effect in with the white. I don't know if my camera's focusing. It's kind of hard with a lot of movement. So I'm happy with the way that looks for the first layer. Again, I didn't get any gel on my finger. And then I'm going to flash cure that for 10 seconds. So I'm going to flash cure this for 10 seconds, but I am going to do the pinky. So you guys can kind of watch me do the pinky and sped up, and then I'm going to flash cure for 10 seconds and we'll be right back. All right, so I flash cured that for 10 seconds, and now we're just going to sponge again. I already went ahead and added some more polish to my palette. Again, dabbing that sponge in, and then just sponging. And what you're gonna see is it's gonna add more color so that the color isn't so faint. And like I said, I'm kind of sponging that edge as well, so you get the ombre effect on the edge. I'll do the same with the pinky. The weird thing with ombreing like this is it's really hard to mess up. And I'm going to flash cure again for another 10 seconds. All right, so we have cured it for another 10 seconds, and then I'm going to do one more layer of polish. And I find for this look, for what I'm looking for, the 3 layers gives it enough color, but it also looks soft enough that it kind of gives that really soft candy corn look that I'm looking for. Okay, so I'm really happy with that. So now I'm going to cure for a full 30 seconds, and then I'm going to just wipe the sticky layer off with some 99% alcohol, just so that I I'm not getting stuff stuck to it while I'm doing the rest of my hand. I am going to go ahead and do my other three fingers, and then we'll come back and I'll show you how I sugar the accent fingers. All right, so I'll see you in a few minutes. All right, so I finished it ombreing on all my nails. So now I'm just gonna go in with a file, sharpen up the edges, and then do a complete buff on the top of all my nails just to make sure it's completely smooth. And I'm just gonna clean up this gel, wash my brushes before they harden, and then we'll come back and complete the look with the top coat and the sugaring. Okay, so I've done my filing and I've buffed all of my nails, and now we are going to get to the sugaring and the top coats. So to sugar, you need quite a thick top coat. I actually really like to use beetles for my sugaring because it is a really thick consistency. In reality, I prefer the Model 1's top coat for a typical glossy top coat. I find it's glossier and it's a thinner consistency and self-levels better. But for sugaring purposes, that really thick top coat is actually ideal. So we're going to use this top coat to sugar both my index finger and middle finger so that it matches my other hand. We're going to use this kind of white clear glitter, but what's really cool about it is that it glows in the dark. So it actually is luminous. So that's kind of cool because it's kind of a Halloween nail look. So I'm really excited about the fact that this glows. So all you're going to need is a tray. You can always use, like I use this. You can get the like little recycling trays that have the little like levels to them. You could even use a cupcake liner, really anything. I like these because it has that really fine point and it's super easy to clean and remove the glitter from. So again, you'll need that fine glitter and a thick top coat. We'll do the middle finger first. So we're going to put a fairly thin layer of the thick top coat. And I think the reason that the thicker top coats work better for sugaring is that it kind of has more for the glitter or the caviar beads if you're doing that kind of a look to adhere to. So I find that the thicker the top coat, the better. I find that the Model 1's top coat, the glitter just doesn't stick as well. So yeah, I really like the Beetles top coat for sugaring. So you're going to put a nice thin, even layer of that top coat on your nail. You're not going to cure. And then you're going to grab your fine glitter or whatever you're using to sugar with without dropping it everywhere. And then you're going to pour that glitter on top of your wet top coat. I like to kind of lean the nail down and pour kind of from the cuticle. So I like to do like a big layer, and then I'll turn the nail each way and make sure that I'm getting those sides because I don't want to miss any part. And I just pour it all on. We're going to pour the glitter back into the little tub in a second. Then I just tap my finger to get off any of the excess glitter. Do not brush it yet, but as you can see, because the glitter is kind of clear, you can still see that the candy corn like look underneath, which is really, really cool. And then you're going to cure this for a full 60 seconds. All right, so it is fully cured. It's cured for 60 seconds. For the next step, you're going to want a stiff bristle nail brush. I really like this big one because it's bigger and it makes it faster. But you're going to take that nail that you just sugared and you're going to brush it quite aggressively. Don't be afraid. What you're doing is getting rid of all of that excess glitter. That is your finished look. It looks so cool. So there it is against the non-top coated other nails. So you can see it gives it a really cool effect. It will stay rough, but it looks really good. And because this is luminous, it actually glows green in the dark. Okay, so we're going to just recycle the glitter, pour it back into the pot, and we'll do the second nail a little bit sped up. Okay, so now that the sugaring is done, we're going to top coat the rest of our nails. All right, the nail look is all finished. I'm so happy with how it turned out. As always, no nail look is completely complete without some cuticle oil, especially when your cuticles are as dry and crusty as mine. So I'm just going to put those on, rub that in. The oil won't hurt the sugaring, so don't worry about that. And the nail look is complete. Oh, I'm so happy with the way they turned out. I'm going to include some pictures right at the end of them glowing in the dark and also in natural sunlight, so you can kind of see how beautiful they really are and how that sparkle shines in the sunlight. I hope you really enjoyed this video. I hope you are able to create a look like this. If you do, please tag me at Tips and Glitter Dips. I'm also on Instagram, so I'll be posting. I always post pictures of my nail looks there, even if I don't do tutorials on YouTube, but I have been trying to do tutorials of all of my nail looks on YouTube as well. But yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this. Like I said, if you're not yet subscribed, please subscribe. It would really mean a lot to me. I am doing a giveaway at 100 subscribers, so I've already started collecting a bunch of stuff. It's going to be like a nail mystery bag. I have 3 more videos planned already, so I have another Shein haul. I have a dollar store nail video, so I've hauled some of like my favorite tools that I use from the dollar store. And then I also am going to be testing out that solid nail glue from Vetsy, as I discussed in a previous video. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me as always, and I hope you have a wonderful day wherever you are in the world, and I'll see you later. Bye!